Sitting here quite peacefully in my study, happy to see smiley face, recording these reflections that have been from a really wonderful book that I found, I think, in the second-hand books at Saltram House. God's neat that way. So we're looking at Palm Sunday, the 13th of April, for reflection. And it's entitled The Triumphant or the Triumphal Entry. Mile after uphill mile, it seems a long way even today in a car. You wind up through the sandy hills from Jericho, the lowest point on the face of the earth, through the Judean desert, climbing all the way. Halfway up you reach sea level. You've already climbed a long way from the Jordan Valley, and you still have to ascend a fair-sized mountain. It's almost always hot, since it seldom ever rains. It's almost always dusty as well. I went to the Holy Land. I remember that. Very, very dry. Very, very hot. Amazing place. So that was the way that the pilgrims came, with Jesus going on ahead as he had planned all along. This was to be the climax of his story, of his public career, of his vocation. He knew well enough what lay ahead, and had set his face to go and meet it head on. He couldn't stop announcing the kingdom, but that announcement could only come true if he now embodied himself in these things he had been talking about. The living God was at work to heal and save, and the forces of evil were massed to oppose him, like Pharaoh and the armies of Egypt trying to prevent the Israelites from leaving. But this was to be the moment of God's new Exodus. God, the great Passover, and nothing could stop Jesus going ahead to celebrate it. For Jesus, it's a royal occasion, to be carefully planned and staged so it makes exactly the right point. The animal he chose, presumably by pre-arrangement with the owners. This wasn't the first time Jesus had been to Bethany. It was a young foal, almost certainly a donkey's colt, like the tomb in which Jesus would lie a week later, Luke 23:53. It had never been used before. The disciples pick up the theme in the kind of instant royal celebration. They spread cloaks along the road for him. Down they go, down the steep path to the Kidron Valley, and the crowd starts to sing part of the great Psalm of Praise, Psalm 118, that pilgrims always sing on the way to Jerusalem, a song of victory, a hymn of praise to the God who defeats all his foes and establishes his kingdom. Jesus will himself quote from the psalm in one of his debates in Jerusalem. Have a look at Luke 20:17. He comes himself at the fulfillment of the nation's hopes, answering their longings for a king who will become and bring peace on earth from heaven. And yet, the grumblers are still there. Some Pharisees going along with the crowd suddenly become anxious about what will happen. And if the authorities in Jerusalem think this is for a minute, that there is a messianic demonstration going on, Jesus knows and Luke knows. And we know what awaits the Master when he gets to the city. From Jesus' point of view, this is why there is such celebration in the first place. It is appropriate precisely because he is coming to bring God's salvation, God's great exodus through his own Passover action on the cross. Had the crowds known this, they would have been puzzled and distressed, as indeed they soon will be. As we arrive at Jerusalem with Jesus, the question presses upon us. Are we going along for the trip in the hope that Jesus will fulfill some of our hopes and desires? Are we ready to sing the Psalm of Praise, but only as long as Jesus seems to be doing what we want? The long and dusty pilgrim way of our lives gives most of us plenty of time to sort out our motives for following Jesus in the first place. And are we ready not only to spread our cloaks on the road in front of him, to do the showy and the flamboyant thing, but also now to follow him into trouble, controversy, trial, and death? From Luke for Everyone by Tom Wright. So Luke 19, as he rode along, people kept spreading their cloaks on the road. That word kept draws my attention. Keep doing it. As he moved along, fantastic. So a prayer for Palm Sunday. Lord, as you enter Jerusalem for your passion, rouse us from our apathy, delivers us from coziness, rescue us from complacency, and we make this pilgrimage with you this Holy Week. Teach us the lessons of the cross. Draw us closer to you, who without our love laid down your life for us, that we may love you with all our hearts, and so loving you, may learn to serve you as the kingdom of children of your kingdom. Amen.